Welcome everyone, and we are going to continue from where we stopped. So, the last class we were able to create the hero section. We have our logo, our hero text, our description, and our button. So the next thing is we want to go to the next section. So now you remember we have our design guide. So with our design guide, we have two things that I want you to point out here. So we have a different color from the one we have. Then we have our section, which means we have our text, our section title and the description. Then we have on this side, we also have our title and the description and our mission. Then we have this image. So what we have to do is you can find this image in the attachment in the description below. Also, so the first thing we have to do is we have to, like I said, you have to take it as container by container. So we have this section, and you see the way we have it. Then we have this one. So this one, it has a similar layout with this. So if you're going to select our container, you can select it this way, the flex box. Then we're going to use this. So, but you notice that the color is different. So we have to select our color. So we'll go down, you can select the color, and also now let's go. Remember, we are going to select our container. Can you see we have another container entirely? So you can now select the container. You can also name your container in a way that for easier identification. So, but let's just keep it this way. So, but if you want to rename it, so let's rename this. Let's call this hero section. Then you have to double click it. You can call this about section. So you know which section that you are selecting. So now the way we have this, we can select this container. You can see that we have our container selected, and the image and the color that we posted, the color that we copied. Sorry. Then you can click on classic the way we did it the last time. You can paste your color code. You can see that it has changed, and you can save it. You can save this as primary. We have primary 1, so we have primary 3. Let's save it. So what do we have? We have our title, so we can always copy. You can drag it this way. Our title, you also have to align it to the center, and you can select our color. You remember our primary color, so we have primary 1. We're going to select it. So you can select, okay, we have it, the title. We are using Inter. Select our font. So then the next thing is our title about us. So the next thing we have to do is our short description. So you drag it under as well. Then we can write the information that we have. So I'll just copy from this. I'll copy from this, then I'll paste here. Also, I'll align it centrally, and I will select the I'll select the font that we are going to be using, which is Inter. I'll make this 18. Then the color, this one I want it to be black. So you can just select 111 or 000, or you can also drag it in a way. You can just drag it in a way that you want. Maybe you want it to be 00. Also, you can go here, select your custom width, then reduce it to, let's say, 60. Then remember what we did the last time. You also select it and make it, you align it to the center. So if you close this widget and try to preview what you have, you can see this is what we have so far. So you can adjust it the way you want. You can make this 55. You can make it 50. So let's have it this way. So it's similar to what we have. And I want it to be exactly the way we have. So let's make it 55. So now, yes, we have one. But you will notice that there's space in between here and there's space between here. So in this case, remember, we have under this, we have about container. Then we have this header, we have this as well. So I want to select this container and I want to add padding for the top and the bottom section. So what we are going to do is I'll unhook this padding Then I will add 50 pixel to the top. Then I will add 20 pixel for the bottom section. So we have a nice look and feel. So the next thing is we have to consider our container. The one we have one here, we have another one here. So let's select this one as well. So you're going to be using Flex, but we have two containers, so we are going to use this structure. It has a nice look and feel. So we are going to select this. The first thing we have to do is we have our background. Remember the background that we saved, which was primary 3. We are going to select it this way. And what we have to do is sometimes is you can work smart or you can work hard. Whichever one you choose is still the same. So now I want to rename this one about, then let me save this mission, let's say story and mission. So when you name your tabs or your sections, it helps so that you can identify which one is which. So we have this section. So the first thing we have to do is we have our story, our title. When I said you guys, you can work smart, this is what I mean. You can do it this way. You can drag this one and start editing, or Ctrl Z or Command Z, whichever one that you're using. You can just copy this one, copy. You can see, you right click on the element, right click, then you copy. Then you can select this one, then you paste. You can see that you have your details. So the good thing, when you are copying, the element that you have, all the settings that you have, you don't have to copy it all over again. You just have to edit it. So now you can see that the font, the color is already there. So I just have to align it to this section. And can you see what we have? Then what is the title? We have our story. So let's copy our story. Then you're going to paste it here. Our story. Then the next thing is you copy this one as well. Let's copy this and let's paste it. So, but the reason why we have this one is, remember, we have our custom column, so we can just change this to default, so it will take the whole screen. Then remove the central alignment. Then you select it to align to the left as well. So now let's copy our text about neon waves. Then we can go here and we can paste. So can you see, this is what we have. Then the next thing is we have our mission statement. So you can click here, you can copy, or you can also duplicate. So let me duplicate. Duplicate is the same thing as copy, but with duplicate, it will only make a copy at that section so that you can drag. So remember our structure. So you can drag it this way, the way you have this. You can, so if you hover to this icon, you can see that it changes from a cursor to hand. So that means you can drag it down this way, or a better way, you can go to the structure. So you can see that we have header, we have another header, then we have this. You can just click on this and drag below. You can just drag it below this. Oh, sorry. The way we have this, you can just drag this above this. Can you see? So we have this header. So we can name this our story. You can have, this is the text. Then you can name this one our mission, because we are going to be having it as our mission. So the next thing you have to do is copy our mission. Then you paste our mission here, and you copy this one as well, and you paste it here. Sorry, that was a mistake. So sorry, I have to duplicate this first. So let me duplicate this, not copy. Then we can drag it this way, the way we just did the other one. So then we will copy, we paste. Like I said, it's always good to work smart. So now, then we have our image. I want to close this so that we can have a section, or you can drag it to another section that you want. Or I just want to close it so that you can all see my screen. So you select, go back to our elements, then you notice that we have image here. And what we just do is we just drag our image to this section. So this is what we have. So then we have to select the image. Then you have to upload. Remember, we uploaded our logo. So we are going to upload this. Then you go to the image. So you can see happy remote worker. You allow it to load. Once it's done, still loading. You can see everything, it has loaded. Then you can change to custom or full width. But in this case, we want our design to be like this. So this is what we are going to do. We are going to set our resolution to custom. So if you check this one, we have the format of the design or of the images. We have the dimension is 500 and the height is 800. Let's say 523 and 829, but it might not be exactly the same. So let's say 500 by 800. Yeah. Then you apply. And you allow your image to process. Can you see what we have? So I think the height is too much. I want to reduce it. So just to point out, sometimes your design in Figma is good to follow the design, but sometimes it is not an exact replica of what you want. So now this, if you close this, you can see what we have, but it's not giving us the look and feel that we want for this. So now the first thing we have to do is you select, like I said, we have structures. So under this, let's close all our containers. Can you see we have mission? Under mission, if you open it, you can see. So you can see one container here. You can name this container text section. Then we can name this one the image section so that it will help. So now under this text section, we have our story, our text editor, our mission and vision. Under this image section, we have our image. So if you select this container, if you select this, it means you are selecting this container, not this element, the container inside. So now I want to select this container and I want to add spacing in between. Remember, if we had padding, and we can add margin. Like I said, margin is outside, padding is inside. So I want to add padding. Can you see we have space in between? So is applying to it. So if we had our margin, it will look similar, but you can see that this container it still maintains the section, but the outside side, there's no element there. So we are going to be using margin in this instance. So then now we are now going to select our image. Select the image. We've been able to select the image. We've been able to adjust it to what we want, but we are not there yet. So now we're going to select this image and we go to style. Then we are going to add a border radius. You can see that this one, it has a nice curve. And I explained what a border radius when we're discussing this button. So now the next thing we have to do is select this. Then you add a border radius. So you can add a universal border radius. You can use 20, but for this case I will be using 30, or let me use 47. So we can see we have it. So we have the border radius, but I still think can you see this one and this one is a little bit different. So what we can do is we can reduce the height of the image from 700 to, like, let's say 600. Then we're going to apply. So now we have what we want, similar to what we are trying to achieve. Also, you can add more padding to it to make it smaller. And another thing is that you want your design to be in accordance to your image. So now if you go back to your layout, we have this one selected, and if you go back, so if you select start, it will take it to the top. If you select center, your image will stay at the top. The same thing if you select here. The reason why you're not noticing is because we have padding and it's taking all over the section. So the way we have this, if you select this and we put it to the top, it might not change, but if you put it to the center, can you see it has dropped down? And you put it to the end, all your section will be touching the ground. But we don't want that. We want everything to be at the center. So our elements and this are in the same section. So because the space between this is too much, so I will select this and I will remove remember that we added on this section we added bottom margin, so bottom padding, so I'll just remove it and I'll turn it to 0. So we have this. It has a nice look and feel. But also if you go back to you can see that from transitioning from this section to this, it has a nice it has space, and that's what we call white spacing, so that you know that for your transitioning from one section to another. So but this one we don't really have that space. So what we want to do is we'll select this container, then we can add our padding, our bottom padding. You can just add 30. So if you scroll down, you can see that this is what we have. So if you increase it, you can see, or we can make it 15, depending on how you think. But it's always good to have the section that way. So this is what we have so far, and I want you guys to try it and implement this design. And you can also task yourself. You can try to replicate before the next video. You can try to replicate this section and try to see what you can come up with. And thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Always remember, publish your design. Publishing means you're saving your design as well. Thank you, and see you in the next video.
Thank you for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Also turn on your notifications so you get notified whenever we post new content, and kindly share. See you in the next video.